Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, here we go. Come on in. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Where the Father waits with open arms, He's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Yeah, come on in. You'll find a place of rest, an illumination, where God within you helps you to light your way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Where the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Yeah, where there's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Unity of Tampa, come on in.
Thank you. The chicken dance. Anybody remember that? That's what my wife tells me I look like every time I dance. We go out dancing. I look like a chicken. My name is Lewis Key. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you this right now, but and I am the platform assistant for this morning. And I've brought a guest along with me to help me with the announcements today. Let me introduce you to Miss Chick-fil-A. And I noticed on the bulletin that Nancy today is going to be speaking on embracing the beauty of uncertainty. Embracing the beauty of uncertainty. That's perfect for today because Nancy has no idea, and she's totally uncertain about why I came in here on a chicken and what I'm going to do next. But it all will unfold for you soon enough. And so I'm going to give you a chance to practice what you're going to preach today. So, first we need to enter. If they come today, they may not ever come again. But do we have any new visitors here today for the first time? Yes, we do. 2, 3. All right. Keep your hand up just so we can identify you. We've got a gift for you. We're going to bring in a flower so you can bloom all day. And at the end of the service, we have a special gift for you also. When you're leaving, if you go by the table that's right back there by the door, we're going to have a special gift for you. It is a dozen eggs, courtesy of Miss Chick-fil-A. Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Chick-fil-A tells me that she did not have time to lay any eggs this morning, so there won't be any eggs, but there will be a T-shirt available for you, just like the one I have on, actually. Only you can pick different colors that you want, so have at it. The announcements. Well, there's a lot of ways of getting the announcements, of course. The email newsletter that comes out on Thursdays, the Facebook website page, the Sunday bulletin for those of you that are here, and the mobile app that we have now, so you can keep it on your cell phone and you can keep up with what's going on all the time. Speaking of cell phones, if you could please now silence your cell phone, but actually I have another request. I would like for you to just turn your cell phone totally off because pictures and photographs are not allowed of me while I'm up here on this stage today. I do have an image to uphold. It may not be a good one, it's getting worse. But at any rate, there's a lot of things going on here in the Tampa Bay area over the next 3 or 4 weeks. One of those starts today. Who knows what today is? Super Bowl Sunday. All right. So, and we have 2 teams. We have the Kansas City Chiefs and we have the Philadelphia Eagles. So, I just want to find out real quickly what kind of crowd we have here today. By a show of hands, how many of y'all are for the Kansas City Chiefs today? Wow, about a half. All right. Kansas. Is Nancy for Kansas or against Kansas? Oh, you're for Kansas. Okay. All right, so now who is for the Philadelphia Eagles? Wow. Well, not as many hands, but you're a lot more boisterous, and that goes a long way. I understand the Philadelphia Eagles have a very boisterous, aggravating crowd if you're not for them. So, who in here couldn't care less who wins the Super Bowl? Almost everybody. I'm kind of the same way. Well, Miss Chick-fil-A here, she has a favorite for the Super Bowl. Who could tell me which team she's going to be rooting for and why? Who? The Eagles. The Eagles. You're right. She's rooting for the Eagles. She told me this morning when she was a little chick, she wanted to grow up to be an eagle. But it was during the times of COVID, and something got in her system, and her wings didn't sprout properly, so she had to turn into a chicken. But I think she's the most beautiful chicken I've ever seen. So the Super Bowl is one thing that we've got coming up. Secondly, we have spring training, hence the hat. Baseball spring training starts this week, actually. That's something I'm excited about. A few of you may be. Thirdly, we have Spring Forward. On March the 9th, we're going to be springing forward. Now, it's going to be important for y'all to know this. So that Saturday night, you've got to move your clocks ahead so you're not late for church. And it's daylight savings time. And then that night, of course, we'll have an extra day or an extra hour of sunlight. So that'll be great. But also on Spring Forward, on April 9th, we have something else that's going on here in the church. It's very important. March 9th, a month ahead. Remember that. On March 9th, we have our spring picnic. The fabulous socialites are presenting the annual picnic on March the 9th, right after church, right over there, out in the everywhere, in the building, outside the building, all. We've got basically a whole new building over there built for us now. So this will be the first time we've had our picnic where we're going to have really great facilities to do it with. And there's going to be a lot of food to eat. Plan on staying for an extra 2 or 3 hours afterwards to enjoy yourself. We got games. One thing, Miss Chick-fil-A here, she's been lobbying heavily to keep chicken off the menu, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. So we're currently in negotiations for that right now. But anyway, so that's going to be on March the 9th, so don't forget that. Now, as Paul Harvey used to say, how many of y'all remember who Paul Harvey was? And now for the rest of the story, which are the rest of the announcements that Nancy wanted me to read, but she didn't know what I was going to do here. No, this will be quick. I can do this in 30 seconds. First of all, vision teams. I want everyone who was in the vision teams meetings last week to stand up. All right. Thank you. 45 people came. That's fantastic. Thank you all. We should have great vision for the future now. Next, we have sleeping mats for the homeless. Recycle, that's today, which is the second Sunday of the month in the sanctuary. In here, after the service, is sleeping mats for the homeless. I thought that was amazing, the video you showed where we could see actually how that was made. I've always wondered, how do you make a sleeping mat out of plastic? But it works great. All right, next we have our annual meeting, February 23rd. That's 2 weeks from today. Everybody is invited to this. You don't have to be a member. You can come to the meeting and hear what's going on with the church and everything about it. So the other thing is you can't vote, but we will have voting for board elections at that time also. So keep that in mind. That's in 2 weeks, right after the service. And then right after that, Hope is going to have a meeting at 1 o'clock, starting at 1 o'clock here on the same day. And next we have birthdays. We have Laura Haywood, February 9th, today. It is. Faye Gentles, February 10th. Is she here? Charles Gentles, February 12th. And we have Jose Cazano, February the 11th. Got a lot of them. Anybody else have any birthdays that we have not covered? No. All right. Well,
Let's sing to them.
Let's sing to them.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
God. Boy, you know, I've never followed a chicken. You just never know what people are going to do here. This is the downside of being a mission-centric church. The upside is nothing's about the minister. The downside is the people get a little wacky. So, you know, we accept everybody, including the chicken. So, all right, first of all, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody? Okay, how many of you reached out to people last week after we talked about being part of a community? Who reached out to somebody? Come on. You called somebody, you made an effort, you realized you belong. All right. We're working on ways that we can continue to do what we talked about. To our online audience, I want to say, you are awesome. You participate in so many ways most churches wish they could have people be part of. So thank you for all the messages you post. Thank you for being part of it. Thanks to Annette for participating in our vision team meeting. Even when she was out of town, there are ways you can continue to be part of it. So thank you for that. I have several things I want to talk about, but I also want to do a shout out to Betsy and Fernando today. I got your message. I'm thinking of you both, and we're going to hold you all in the consciousness and prayer for positive outcomes. I also want to just thank the vision teams. Last week's meeting for our launch was awesome. 45 people. That's a really good start for our year. Many more people will join these teams, and we're doing a lot of good work. I want to express my gratitude for a very special woman who made her transition, Rose Juarez, Gilda's mom, left this earth this week, and we're holding Gilda and the whole family in prayer. Rose was a very special friend of Jeffrey and I since 1998. We drove her to choir practice. We picked her up every Sunday, and we had dinner together on her birthday. The picture on the far right, many of you may remember Catherine Matris on the left, Elizabeth in the middle, and Rose on the right. And of course, the middle picture is Gilda and her mom. You can tell how much they look alike. And Christina and Amanda. And Amanda is Gilda's daughter, and Christina is Gilda's sister. But Rose was a very special woman. I'm hoping I talked to Gilda about, I'd love to celebrate her one day and share her story with you. She from a history perspective, she was an iconic woman in the history of Unity of Tampa. She was way back in the North B days. She was at North B Street. She was one of the women who used to come together and pray and teach and learn. And she helped this church be supported in unity principles. And even at the end of her life, Gilda told me she was reading and trying to, reassure herself, even in the state she was in, of the principles she believed in. And I just think she was an amazing woman. I am fully grateful to have known her and to have loved her and to have called her a friend. And she will be missed on this earth, but she will not be forgotten. I would also like to thank Luis. Where are you over there? I see you hiding. I want to thank Luis for all the work he did at the church. He's been picking up a lot of extra slack. Same with David. I want to thank David too. Without Jeffrey running around this property all the time, there have been a lot of things to do, and Luis even came in and painted the cabinet. The floor is done in Fellowship Hall. If you haven't already seen it, wait until you do. The room looks so much bigger. We still have blinds and things to do in the kitchen and some work, but we are that close to the finish line. So thank you guys for all the extra work. And last but not least is Jeffrey. I want to give you an update. So Jeffrey was upright most of this week. Jeffrey is on a cane. You are on a cane, right? You're not walking around without it. And he's taller. So it's hysterical, but we realized yesterday he's at least an inch taller because his whole life with his muscular dystrophy, he has had a gait. And they moved the leg in. So he is standing like this. So he said, "Are you getting shorter?" I said, "The burden on my back? Yes, maybe." But we realized last night he is actually taller and standing for the first time in his life on two legs like this. I almost wanted to push him to see what would happen, but I decided not to. But got staples out, he got the bandage off, he was able to start walking, and I took him on 3 outings this week beside the doctor. I drove him down to see the floor and in there, and then I took him to 2 of Melody's shows, Friday and Saturday night, got him as close to the door as I can, cane and all, and got him in. Friday night was a bit of a problem, maybe overdid. Saturday we made it and got him out of there quicker. But he wanted to come today, and I said, absolutely not. He needs 2 more weeks before I really want him here, because he will not sit. And he's going to want to be all over here, and I don't want him to have a setback. But I want to thank you. We don't need any more help. Food, we're good. But I want to tell you how helpful you've been. He has gotten cards every day. He sits, I get the mail. He's been so moved by all the cards he's received, all the text messages. Many people have called. Many people have sent gifts. Many people have sent food. I just can't tell you how uplifting it has been during a very difficult time for him. And it has lifted his spirits. We have made a 180 from last Sunday to now. And it made a huge difference. So thank you all. We really appreciate you. Okay, I think that covers everything. Time to go, it's noon. No, I'm kidding. Let's say our affirmation together. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And today's daily word is power, which actually goes a little bit with what we're talking about with the beauty of uncertainty. So it says, I have the power to choose my thoughts and direct my life. Feeling my power from within means I am grounded in spiritual truth and understanding. I speak my mind with calm certainty and change my mind whenever I choose. I live in a state of inner security and mastery. If I wish to make changes, I take dominion of myself and have faith in my innate power as a spiritual being. In the past, I may have looked outside myself to feel powerful, taking on another's beliefs or affiliating with something outside of myself. Now, I understand true power comes from within. I take dominion over my thoughts and feelings. I live my truth in confidence, knowing my thoughts derive from my divine ideas. Take out my. One with God, I have the power to create my life. And for God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. And that's from Timothy. All right, let's turn it over to the band in our own holy, holy way.
Will you guys stand and sing this with us? Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Yeah. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Here we go. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. You guys sound fantastic. Let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, I wanna know that love can heal us all. Wanna know that love can heal us all. Hey, oh, let me in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share in the good that's overflowing. Let me share with the good that's overflowing. Let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, I wanna care for those around the world. Wanna care for those around the world. And sing it, hey. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a You guys sound so good singing that, man. It's only the second week. We're going to be ready for the recording session by the end of the month.
How many people don't like singing when they come to church? Raise your hand. Come on. I know we have a few. Come on. Did you raise your hand,
yeah, right.
Faye? The leader of our choir? Oh my gosh. See if I contact you tomorrow on your birthday this year. This will be the year I forget. How many do like singing? Okay,
Yes.
so this is one of the reasons people don't go to church, by the way. Because a lot of people are like, oh my God, they're standing up clapping and singing, and it's so weird. But I just want to tell you, even if you're not a fan of singing, you should feel the vibrations of the singing in the room. Because the idea is to build within us that energy that comes from some of the words we're saying and affirming out loud together. So, hey, I just realized what happened to Cheryl. They're okay? Okay, just. All right, guys, I'm just checking. Your seats are empty. I was like, what happened to Cheryl and Rob? They're not here. All right, I have two good stories. Thank you, Kathy, for the first one. So during Hurricane Helene and Milton, the Girl Scouts of West Central Florida received hundreds of letters from all over the country in support. They had 4 camps closed down due to the hurricane damage, which was pretty devastating. And Mary Pat King, CEO of the Girl Scouts of West Central Florida, she said it was the darkest of times that the Girl Scout spirit shined the brightest. She said hundreds of cards filled with messages of love and support came pouring in from Girl Scouts all around the country to the people in Florida, including Girl Scouts from Los Angeles. Ironically, all of the camps reopened in the beginning of January, the same week the wildfires started in LA. So the Girl Scouts of West Central Florida started sending cards to LA. And they immediately noticed they were going through similar things. And even though it was a fire versus water, the girls said, we wanted to give back. Some of the cards read, we're thinking of you, stay safe, we're sending love, stay strong. And what we found was that we have a lot of girls who are in high need in terms of social and emotional support because they feel isolated and they feel lonely. And where do the Girl Scouts play into this? Being connected to other people in a positive, non-competitive environment. Now, that story is what I was trying to explain last week, and the kids get it. So it's pretty awesome, and that's why Kathy loved this story. Second story, is Sean here today? Second story is from Sean Lee. It's awesome. Some of you may have already seen it on the news. We're going to play it.
It's still one of my favorite sayings in life, and it still rings true. Not all heroes wear capes.
Not due to the quick actions by coaches, student athletes, and administrators on site, he would not be with us today.
But senior point guard Magnus Miller doesn't think he's a hero at all.
I mean, I don't really like being, seen as that. I feel like everyone does their part. I feel like everyone in that scenario also did their part.
Last week on KOCO5, we told you how Magnus jumped into action when his school, Life Christian Academy, was playing against Dover High School. Just a few minutes into the basketball game, Dover's Randy Vitalis went into full cardiac arrest. He's just 16 years old.
Checked his pulse and breathing. That's what I was taught as lifeguard. Immediately assessed the situation and then surveyed a scene.
Magnus helped give Randy CPR and directed others to find an AED, a device that helps restart a human heart.
Now, Magnus told me he had done training with an AED like this in the past, but he hadn't used one in real life until Randy needed it.
So Dover personnel, I think it was coaches, a mom or a female that was there was also helping me give him CPR, and then EMS shortly came after, about 20 or 30 minutes after.
The two schools met up again Tuesday night at UCO's Hamilton Fieldhouse. Both girls and boys teams suited up, and admission from the game will be donated to the Vitalis family. During a halftime ceremony, Dover head coach Jared Reese paid tribute to Magnus and first responders that ultimately saved Randy's life.
You just got to rely on God through these situations to pull you through it, because that's the only reason why I think Randy came out of that was because it was God's will.
While their teams are opponents on the court, they'll be friends. for life.
For sure, it's like a built-in brotherhood. It was meant to be. But yeah, I've talked to Randy. He's fully healthy. He just got to the hospital almost a week ago.
In Edmond, Jason Berger, KOCO 5 News.
Isn't that awesome? A 16-year-old. My favorite part of the story, obviously, it's important that he saved that young man's life, but my favorite part of the story is that he stayed calm. And I don't know at 16 how many kids could have done that. It's just super impressive. Let's get ready for meditation.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Sanctuary for you.
So think of it like you just sang or heard. Going into meditation is about preparing ourselves for that inner strength, that inner light, to be empowered, to center ourselves and to prepare for today's message, to get ourselves in a place where it's not the busyness of the world, but rather the peace that is always available to us within. So I invite you to take a few deep breaths. Think of it as taking in the light and fuel that you need and letting go of the darkness or the negative energy you may have carried around this week. Just breathing in and seeing the light within, that divine light that each of us has, brightly shining and getting brighter and brighter as we get lighter and lighter. And listen to the words that I'm going to share and take in just what feels right to you and let go of the rest. Today, I focus my attentions on the beauty of uncertainty. Recognizing the importance of trusting in the divine and maintaining faith over fear in the face of the unknown. With this perspective, I affirm my highest good will always prevail when I remain hopeful by being patient and being courageous and persistent. Even in the most trying of times, I can trust that I will stay the course through the infinite strength of the divine Spirit of God, which is truly the essence of my being. I am the divine child of that powerful energy, and so is everyone else. Life is filled with unknowns, and sometimes it can bring about feelings of anxiety and stress within me. But if I stop and seize such moments and allow myself to acknowledge what I'm feeling without judging it, I can then embrace the uncertainty as being equally important in my human experience. I visualize myself standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waters represent the unknowns in my life. And instead of fearing the depth of the water, I see the ocean as a place of endless possibilities. With each breath I take, I imagine myself becoming more comfortable with the ebb and flow of the waves, trusting that I can navigate through whatever comes my way, the ups and the downs. I embrace uncertainty and the growth it brings, transforming me into a more powerful being. I trust in the process of life and allow myself to flow with its currents. I rely on the infinite strength of God, and I move forward with ease and grace, regardless of what life brings. And I am grateful for the opportunities that help me transform and stretch me outside my comfort zone and force me to let go of expectations. I rest now in the silence and await my highest good to come forth. Whenever I begin to doubt what lies ahead, I seek these moments of quiet and remind myself of the vision of standing at the edge of the ocean, trusting all will be revealed and I will know what to do next. And so I embrace uncertainty with an open heart. And as I gently open my eyes and come back to this moment in time, I'm centered in peace. Morning, Jeffrey, Melody, Logan, Everett, the list gets longer. So, one of the challenges that we all face with having a vision for our life is that it can be a setup for us to have a lot of anxiety and stress when things do not go as we planned. Whether it's on a daily basis or looking at our long-term picture, setting our intentions for a plan is an important part of being in unity. That's one of the things we know to be true. We set our intentions, but we also at the same time have to be aware that we must be open to what if it is something different than what we intended, and how will we embrace that? If we're not seeing things the way we want, and we become fixated on the way we think it has to play out, we just become resistant and frustrated. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, here's the plan. This is what the day's going to look like. This is what this year's going to look like. And pow, nothing looks like what you intended. And that anxiety and frustration builds when we don't have the ability to say, what if I could just lean into what's happening instead and realize it's going to help me grow? Everything in our personal lives to politics will create anxiety and uncertainty if what the outcomes are not what we envisioned, and we live nothing but frustrated lives. This week I found myself saying, this can't be my life. But it was. I was so excited Tuesday morning that Jeffrey was upright Monday afternoon, and he was doing better, and I was like, I'm going to get caught up. I'm going to be all day in the office. He's not going to need as much, and this is really good. You know, he's been still working even when he's sitting in a bed or chair. He's still working and trying to keep up with things at church and telling me what to do here. And he does the PowerPoints, and he's still on top of his game. But he's not as useful in the house. And for me right now, can't drive anywhere, so he can't run any errands. He can't pick up. He can't drop off. It gets pretty crazy. So Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock, new cup of coffee, because we get up at 5:45 every day with Melody. And I was just in my element, you guys. I'm sitting there. This is it. And the phone rings. School nurse. Melody is so dizzy she can't walk. Melody has a severe headache, and she is definitely not doing well. Me being the compassionate and loving person I am, I said, does she need me to come get her? Or is this just a courtesy call to let me know? The nurse paused for a minute, and she said, no, I think you're going to have to come get her. I said, well, could it be this or that? She goes, I think you're going to come get her. Then I felt really bad when they said they're going to bring her out in a wheelchair. I was like, oh, God, I feel really stupid now. Of course, I needed to go get her. And of course, as I was driving to the school, I thought, what would happen to her and Jeffrey if I kept driving? Nonetheless, I did pick her up, and I nursed her back to health because she insisted on going back to theater, but she was fully dehydrated from all the extra theater and work, and once we got her hydrated and bananas and peanut butter, she was good to go. But my whole day was hijacked. That's my point. The whole day was hijacked, and my initial reaction was one of resistance and frustration. I won't lie. I was just like, I need to work today. But as soon as I recognized that this was not meant for me, I was meant to be in this place and in my compassionate zone and relax into this, then I was fine, and I was able to make the next 4 rides there and back and there and back. But life as we know it is unpredictable. That's the reality. And despite our best efforts to control and to plan, unexpected things and changes will happen. And we cannot be thrown off by all of them. If we embrace a life that doesn't have a rigid plan, we would be able to also embrace the beauty of uncertainty, because it's in those moments that, believe it or not, we grow the most. Change helps us transform. It challenges us. It makes us more courageous. It's an opportunity for us. It's new possibilities. It's sitting back, letting other people help. It's learning not to try to be the controller of everything in our lives. But that requires being willing to relinquish that control. When we don't have a confined plan, we learn to be more present in the moment. That's where practicing mindfulness comes in, and expressing gratitude and finding a way to create a deeper connection to the world around us, rather than looking ahead at what we think should be in our next space. And if we're not preoccupied with what might happen in the future, we might just actually appreciate the beauty and wonder of what is in the now. It's so important not to miss today because we thought we should be thinking about tomorrow. If I had been fully engaged in the present moment, I would have taken that call, not been rambling in my head about what I needed to do, and ease into it. But I had the brakes on for a minute. I had to really get myself in gear. It's the human element in us that wants to control the narrative. Another beautiful aspect of uncertainty is that when we release the need for control or our desire for a strict plan, that's when our intuition begins to inform us as to what is right for us. When you allow your intuition to be louder than your intellect, you are in a much better place in life, and you cruise into the right moments at the right time without trying to figure it all out. What if this is our life? And what if we could embrace every moment, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, and trust that we are being grown and stretched to become the people we were sent on this earth to be. As far as we know, there's only one earthly journey. We don't know. Maybe people believe in reincarnation, and gosh, I hope it's true. As long as I don't come back as a frog, that's great. Just don't want to put that, I might have put that out there. But I don't want to be outside, and I don't want that skin. Just saying. But intuition is that inner wisdom. Intuition is the inner guide. But we spend so much time feeding our intellect. And we've talked about this recently. If we could work on our intuition, then maybe we would be better listeners. And if you think about it, the beauty of uncertainty lies in listening to that inner voice and trusting and saying. And it's interesting because some of us prefer to be, I don't know about you, but I'm a person that if I'm going away, I don't want a plan. I do not want a plan. So I don't like to do we got every minute plan thing. I'm not very good at that. I want to navigate, I want to feel, I want to experience. But the best part of listening and following our intuition is because our intuition, our divine light, is going to take us into the life we are meant to have for our true purpose, even if our true purpose isn't in the cards in our intellect. That's the thing you have to remember, is that you don't know where you're going to be led, but if you're always the leader in your life, then you're not trusting the process to open bigger doors. One of the greatest gifts of uncertainty is that living without a plan helps us to find joy in our life. Our life is more joyful when the journey is not constricted by the plan. Let the picture expand. Let the vision expand. Let it be more than what you saw with your physical eyes. Let's see with our spiritual eyes and imagine the world and our life as all possibilities, even if we don't know what they are in the moment. How many of us said it's important to find joy in the journey rather than in the destination back in the day? How many of us said that phrase? But how many of us took the advice? You know, we told our friends the joy is in the journey, not in the destination. But in the meantime, we were checking the plan. Well, here's my destination, but not for you. You're supposed to find joy in your journey. Shifting our mindset from the end game, what's the end game, to appreciating the life lessons and experiences along the way will help us find contentment. We become keenly aware that life is not about achieving goals. I was thinking about the Super Bowl the other day and how much both teams would miss out on if all they were focused on was the win and the end game. What would the experience be? They've been there a week. What would it be like if all they did was think about winning? Somebody's losing today. That's the way the game works. But if you were only focused on winning, then you missed all the hype and the fun of being in a Super Bowl if this was an experience you never had. Everybody keeps saying Patrick Mahomes has been there, but what about all the other players who have never been there? It's important for everyone to be in the present moment and experience the game. Both teams, regardless of who wins. That's what matters, is being present. But then we have to take into consideration where faith and fear come into this whole picture of uncertainty. Co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, believed that uncertainty in our life and the feelings we have around it stem from lack of faith in the inherent goodness and power of the divine to lead the way. Leading to this reliance we have, he said, on external validation from other people and from things we want to look up on Google. That need we have to prove that we've got things figured out. He was an advocate of cultivating a positive mental attitude and trusting in the universal flow of abundance so that we would overcome uncertainty and manifest desired outcomes as well as those that came our way. But he viewed faith as the antidote, as the antidote to uncertainty. And he encouraged us to trust in the unknown and the unseen and not to let our fear dictate our actions. Now, we know from experience that fear often takes over in the face of uncertainty. And fear is not only paralyzing, but it is one of the greatest barriers that prevent us from being able to live without a plan. That's why we become fearful. Our mind is saying, can't compute, don't recognize this. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And the fear takes over. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of losing control. All of those things keep us trapped in the need to overplan and overthink. But if we're going to truly live a spiritually filled life without a plan, we have to let go of our fears. We can have our desired goals, but we must be open to what else can come our way. We can acknowledge our fears, but we don't need to let them dictate our actions or hold us back from being authentic. Charles said there were 4 methods that he felt could help us. One was meditation and prayer, because he said regularly connecting with the divine would quiet our mind and allow us to be in this inner place. Second thing was repeating positive affirmations about ourselves and the outcomes we see for ourselves. So it would shift us into a possibility consciousness. Visualization, imagining the desired outcome in detail in the subconscious mind with a positive vision, but being open to the roads that open for us. And number 4, gratitude. Practicing gratitude every single day. If you're not doing that, I highly encourage it. Every day, count your blessings. Write down what you're grateful for, who you're grateful for. If we're going to live in uncertainty and manage ourselves, we have to develop this deep trust in the universe. A deep trust that says the universe has my back, even when it doesn't look that way. The idea I'm trying to convey here isn't that we abandon all sense of direction or purpose, but rather that we embrace spiritual practices of surrendering to the flow of life in a way that allows us to be in the present moment, not get rattled when that call comes, and be able to move forward and know wherever we are is where we are meant to be. But that means we have to open our hearts to the beauty and wonder of the unknown and allow ourselves to discover that joy and fulfillment that comes from not always being in charge. It's a path that's going to require courage and faith, but one that will ultimately lead us to a richer and more spiritually fulfilling life. Let's review our lessons for today. Embracing the beauty of uncertainty requires us to, 1, relinquish our need for control, be open to new ways and experiences. Number 2, to live in the present moment or be frustrated every day. Number 3, search for joy in the journey, embrace life as an adventure. And number 4, to maintain faith over fear and trust the universe enough that we're willing to surrender. The affirmation I have for today is, I embrace the beauty of uncertainty. Let's say that and mean it. I embrace the beauty of uncertainty. And the quote from Pema Chodron, sticking with that uncertainty, getting the knack of relaxing in the midst of chaos, learning not to panic. This is the spiritual path. All right, let's take this in for a moment. So we pause to say thank you, God, for the consciousness that we were given at birth, to trust our inner voice, to know that that power of intuition is within us if we can step out of the way long enough to listen. We recognize that life will be unpredictable, and so that will be the way we waltz through life, with grace and courage and conviction and faith over fear. And so it is. Amen. I would like to ask for prayers, not only for the Schwartz family, but also for Michael's husband, Tony. Tony had to be taken to the ER this morning. He's having back pain. And Michael, we're sending lots of prayers for you both. Keep me posted today, if you will. And for all of the rest of the prayers that we need to say, please fill out a prayer card, put it in the prayer box, and I'll make sure it goes out on tomorrow's list. We are here to support you if you need prayer. There are many chaplains and myself available. Our giving affirmation is to ensure abundance consciousness, not just stuff, consciousness for all things, to be abundantly prosperous. And so we say this together with we instead of I, and hopefully you say it at home with I. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good, now flowing forth to meet our every need. And so it is. And if you ever had any doubt about the abundance here, be grateful for all of what is here and all the energy that continues to bring our campus people like yourself. We're beyond grateful for your commitment to be here and the fact that our energy has built more children, brought more children, and we are building the future for Unity through those children. Now, I know it's 12 o'clock, but I also know that you believe in uncertainty. And so we are not going to rush our band. We're going to let them play. We're going to bring our children later, and we're going to go through the rest of our service. Thank you.
Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, through hoping against all hope. I'm through waiting for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming, I'm through wishing to ever come back. I'm through wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's finally time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Through surviving many times these broken hearts and slamming doors, that I'll make it just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, yeah. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. be everything new. So bring it on. Everything different. Everything different, yeah. Everything new. So I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new. Thank you, thank you. There's a whole bunch of kids back there. Let's bring them in. Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around my neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got the sunshine on my Sunday best.
Good morning, everybody. As you can see, we had a good collection this morning across all of our age groups. The teens and our older fifth graders who are going to be joining the teams room next year all joined me and worked on our Valentine's fundraiser today. So while I'm talking about that, if you pre-ordered things last week to pick up this week, I will be at the back of Fellowship Hall in the new kitchen area or on the side that hasn't got food on it. Please come and see me to pick up your pre-ordered candy bags. If you didn't order last week, don't worry, it's not too late. We'll be here next weekend as well. I know it's just after Valentine's Day, but it means you just get to extend it to Valentine's weekend. So as you leave, a couple of our fifth graders will be handing out flyers and order forms to anyone outside. As a special surprise to Miss Heather, she's going to be outside as well, making sure that she takes the orders from you at the table that's put up there nicely in the shade for you. Okay. I'll pass it across to you. Just before I do, please remember, if you've got folks that are in Miss Heather's or what is normally Miss Katie's room but is Miss Diane's room today, please come up here and check them out afterwards. The teens are already all checked out.
Thank you. Yep. Our older kids, we talked about the power of love today, and we made some nice gifts for someone who we love. It might even be ourselves, because that's important too. And then we got to go run some energy outside. Yeah. And our youngest room,
we worked on cooperation in order to play with each other and what have you and keep each other happy. And we did some drawings of hearts, and then we played with the different toys that are in the nursery, so they had a good time.
all right, so let's bless all these kids. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. We love you. We love you. We really love you. Mwah. We're going to come sit right here on the stairs.
We'll stand and sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right, amazing people, we do this prayer to make sure everybody has a great week. Keep the energy as you say this. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. God bless you. Thank you for being here today.